Very good morning, everyone. Welcome back to CGB Mentors. So here we are to discuss the PIB articles, and आज के session में we will start the new month of November. 1st से 4th of November के हम articles cover करने वाले हैं. Okay, so let's start. I hope my voice is properly coming to you. So let's start with the the old scheme of the government of India, and it is about the healthcare sector. Okay, so let's start. So in the phase 2 part of your examination, this scheme will be very important in case they will ask you anything regarding the healthcare sector, right? So here, अंजलि, ये जो हम सीए या फिर पीआईबी के आपके न्यूज़ कवर करवा रहे हैं ना, जस्ट फोकस ऑन दैट. अगर आप हमने जो भी पिछले कुछ महीने के आपके पीआईबी या फिर करंट अफेयर्स को कवर किया है, दैट विल बी इनफ फॉर योर नाबार्ड एग्जाम, राइट? Okay, so it is about the universal health care which has been provided by the government of India through the Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana. So that was the scheme जिसके बारे में एक article इन्होंने release किया, and this scheme is not going to provide you any new information. It's just the revision for you कि ये scheme क्यों लाया गया. Now this scheme 2018 में इसे रिलीज किया गया था, लॉन्च किया गया था बाय द गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया, एंड द ऑब्जेक्टिव बिहाइंड लॉन्चिंग द स्कीम वाज टू प्रोवाइड द यूनिवर्सल हेल्थ केयर फैसिलिटी. It focused on the segmental approach, that how we can just divide our healthcare system in 3 tiers: primary, secondary and the tertiary sector, and then microscopic से लेकर के macroscopic level तक we will cover this healthcare facility. Okay, so here in this theme, the Pradhan Mantri Ayushman Bharat Yojana, that has very important role, and it is called that this is the world's one of the important and one of the largest universal healthcare program, right? So इस respect में you have to see this. So September 23 2018 को ये प्रधानमंत्री जन आरोग्य योजना को लॉन्च किया गया था. ऑब्जेक्टिव क्या था? यूनिवर्सल हेल्थ केयर को प्रोवाइड करना. इफ इन केस दे विल give you any article, anything regarding the healthcare, you have to name this scheme. Okay, so here this scheme is very broader scheme. It has some pillars on which this is being founded. So here there are one of the pillar of the Ayushman Bharat scheme, which was launched in 2018. Idea was to provide the equitable healthcare coverage, especially to the people who are poor. Just I will quote one data, that when we talk about the out of pocket expenditure or the expenditure that the per person incur on the healthcare facility in India, it is somewhere approximately 6,000 rupees. Okay, earlier it was 3,000 rupees, now it has doubled. Okay, so 6,000 rupees, just get this rough estimation कि अगर कोई poor person के pocket में 6,000 rupees का health care का expenditure incur होगा, so it would be very difficult for that person to fund that expenditure, right? So इसलिए गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया ने स्पेसिफिकली इकोनॉमिकली वीकर जो सेक्शन है या जो पुअर सेक्शन है, उनके लिए आयुष्मान भारत प्रोग्राम को लॉन्च किया. देयर इज वन कंपोनेंट पर फैमिली 5 लाख रुपीज विल बी प्रोवाइडेड, जहाँ पे स्पेशली आपके सेकेंडरी एंड टर्शरी सेक्टर का जो भी एक्सपेंडिचर होगा हेल्थ केयर का, दैट विल बी मैनेज्ड, राइट? So here about this they have mentioned there are some important pillar of this scheme. Okay, so these pillars are the Ayushman Arogya Mandir. So Ayushman Arogya Mandir को फ्रेम या फिर इसको बनाने का जो बेसिक इंटेंशन था, that was targeting the primary healthcare sector. So here that there are the Anganwadi workers, there are the primary healthcare facilities which are targeting the the mother and the child, because हमने एक core एक challenge हमने या फिर एक जो core cause है वो identify किया है, that if the mother is healthy, the next generation or the child will be healthy, and इस तरीके से the prevention of the any of the diseases can be done. Okay, so with that objective, Ayushman Arogya Mandir near to the houses or the homes of the people that are being established. Ayushman Bharat digital mission. So here digitalization करने का process था. Here the idea was to digitally link the healthcare facilities so that village लेवल पे जो लोग अप्रोच कर रहे हैं, दे हैव एक्सेस टू दी गुड एंड द बेस्ट ऑफ दी हेल्थ केयर फैसिलिटी. सो ये इंटीग्रेटेड एक डिजिटलाइजेशन, एक डिजिटल हेल्थ इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर इन्होंने सेटअप किया अंडर दिस. ओके, एंड देन वी हैव प्रधानमंत्री आयुष्मान भारत हेल्थ इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर मिशन, PM अभिम. launched recently in 2021. Okay, idea क्या था? Again, healthcare capacity को build करना, and here the basic idea was focusing on the villages and districts. Okay, so you will see कि ये जो आयुष्मान आरोग्य मंदिर है, चाहे PM अभिम है, it is targeting the the micro level of the areas. Okay, so जो आपके villages हैं, districts हैं, they are being targeted, right? And then we have PMJAY that provides healthcare facilities that I've recently talked. 5 lakh rupees per year, per annum, 5 lakh rupees has been provided for the secondary and tertiary care services, जहाँ पे basically जो basic आपका expenditure है, that is spent on the hospitalization. Okay, so economically जो deprived families हैं, in case there is any hospitalization, अगर private hospitalization हो जाता है किसी भी disease के लिए, you know कि per bed जो charge होता है वो कितना ज़्यादा costly होता है. Even in the government hospitals it's expensive. Okay, so ये आइडेंटिफाई किया गया है जो पोस्ट हॉस्पिटलाइजेशन है या प्री हॉस्पिटलाइजेशन का जो भी खर्चा आता है, गवर्नमेंट वांट की आउट ऑफ दिस फंड 5 लाख रुपीस दैट कैन बी covered. Now here the basic idea of this particular scheme is that provides what kind of facilities it is providing. So medical examination, pre-hospitalization 3 years, post-hospitalization it is 3 days, and post-hospitalization it is 15 days. Surgery and procedures, they are covered. There is no such bar on the family size. Okay, so 5 lakh rupees for any number of the family members. Medicines and consumables, diagnostic, lab tests, benefits portable nationwide. Here these are the the by and large the coverage that this scheme provides to the people. Now here there are some challenges is कि यहाँ पे इन्होंने हॉस्पिटलाइजेशन की कॉस्ट को तो कवर किया है, बट हियर दी चैलेंज इज दैट व्हेन वी हॉस्पिटलाइज एनी ऑफ द पेशेंट, there are other expenditure. For example, the medicines, they are very costly. Then जो भी आपके out of hospitalization का जो भी cost होता है, they are not covered into this. Also the private hospitals, they are not ready to get associated under this scheme, because यहाँ पे काफी low level का यहाँ पे जो भी आपका fund है वो release होता है या फिर slowly release होता है, so they become hesitant for that. Okay, so that is there. And also digitalize तो किया है, but there are issues like the people, they are not aware of it. Okay, so paperless and cashless करने की कोशिश की है गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया ने this आयुष्मान भारत मिशन and its component, but here there we see some kind of a challenges which are acting as an obstacle under the implementation of this program. Okay, now we have the other mission that is related to national beekeeping and honey mission. Now here this scheme was launched by the government of India as a central sector scheme, yani totally funded by the government of India. Idea is promoting and developing the scientific beekeeping. Okay, so beekeeping या जो भी आपके honey extraction होता है, that looks very a difficult task. Okay, so यहाँ पे scientifically beekeeping किया जा सके या extraction of beehive products. Okay, जो भी आपके waxes हैं या फिर honey है, that will be extracted properly and quality honey can be produced. So that is the objective of the National Beekeeping Honey Mission, and this particular mission has been implemented through the National Bee Board. Okay, so this is the implementing body under this. Now this scheme was announced by the government of India in year 2020 for 3 years. So 2020 से 2023 के लिए इसे launch किया गया था with the total budget that was allocated for 3 years. It was 500 crore rupees. But the government has identified that this scheme should be extended because इसके जो जो targets हैं, they are doing some kind of positive impact. So it has further allocated the budget of 370 crore rupees, yani total 870 crore rupees has been allocated for the mission, and it is further extended for 3 years, yani totally ये 6 years के लिए अभी तक implemented रही है. Okay, 2025-26 के लिए इसे extend किया गया. Okay, so here beekeeping, it's an agro-based activity that is done by the farmers and also the landless laborers in the rural areas specifically. So here we want कि integrated farming का हम एक part बनाएं. Not only the farmers, they are producing something, but also they are doing beekeeping. Okay, so beekeeping could be a profitable business for the farmers. So what is integrated farming? It is commonly, and it's a word that explains more integrated approach to the farming as compared to the existing monoculture. So monoculture या mono farming या agricultural farming से different है ये. यहाँ पे integrated farming की जाती है, which integrates the livestock, cattle holding है, fisheries है, okay, crop production and horticulture. So that will be inclined by the farmers at their land. Okay. Right, Krishna, I've seen your comment. ये जो 100 आपके PIB MCQs हैं, they will be soon uploaded. I guess you are talking about the October month. They will be soon uploaded. Within 1 or 2 days, they will be uploaded. Don't worry. Okay, so again, they are talking about the same. Just have this. The idea of launching this mission is to achieve this sweet revolution. Okay, so sweet revolution is related to what? The honey mission. Okay, now sub scheme under this mission, there are 3 mini mission on which this this particular comprehensive scheme is sustained. Mini mission is to under this mission, the thrust will be given to the production and productivity and improvement of various crops through the pollination. Okay, so यहाँ पे adoption of scientific beekeeping is one of the mission, and also post harvest management करना है of the beehive products. Okay, and then the third is research and technology related to different agroclimatic zones. So that is the 3 mission on which is actually converged under this larger mission. Now when we have this natural honey farming, so we have the major Indian states like Uttar Pradesh, which produce honey that is of 17%, followed by West Bengal, Punjab, Bihar and Rajasthan. So please remember these largest honey producing states. And when we talk about the export of the honey, that is 1.07 lakh metric tons, okay, of natural honey that we export to the other countries. And these export destination that covers countries like USA, UAE, Saudi Arabia, Qatar and Libya. Okay, so please remember this fact. It is going to be very important for you. Okay, now National Bee Board, जो कि implementing body है of this particular mission. So this is also a registered society under the Societies Registration Act of 1860. 2000 में इसे register किया था, and then there was this body was reconstituted and the under the chairmanship of secretary in June 2006. Okay, so that is about this national mission on the honey and beekeeping. Okay, now next is sustaining the life, celebrating the nature, India's biosphere reserve. Now this article talks about the biosphere reserve. Now what is the biosphere reserve? Okay, RBI का रिजल्ट वी आर एक्सपेक्टिंग कि आ जाएगा, बट इसमें जो फाइनल जो भी आपको इंफॉर्मेशन मिलेगी दैट विल बी प्रोवाइडेड बाय अशोक सर. ओके, डोंट वरी अबाउट दैट. अगर आएगा तो दैट सर विल बी टेकिंग क्लासेस इवन इट इज इन 1 AM, okay, in the night. Don't worry. Now here biosphere reserve, they are very important place. They are the protected areas. Okay, they are the protected areas and they are being identified by the national government. Okay, जो भी आपकी central government रहती है वो इसे identify करती है. जो आपके जो biosphere reserve होते हैं, they are the protected areas जहाँ पे ये basic idea रहता है that we can have a mutual relationship between the wildlife and the humans. Okay, so wildlife and humans, they can coexist peacefully. So that is the basic idea of having the biosphere reserve. Okay, so biosphere reserve, they are for the conservation of the biodiversity. जो भी आपके different genetic variation है, different species हैं, whether it is the different landscape, okay, in terms of the fauna, that is trees हो गए, plants हो गए, or in terms of the animals, so they are being covered and conserved under the biosphere reserve. Now biosphere reserve was in news because recently 13 जो आपका biosphere reserve recognize किया गया है UNESCO द्वारा, that is from Himachal Pradesh, and that's the reason this article is about the biosphere reserve. Okay, now as I said, it is nominated by the national government. Central government इसे क्या करेगा, recognize करेगा, and thereafter इसका जो sovereign jurisdiction होगा, यानी this is going to be covered and administered by the state government. Okay, because जो भी आपके biosphere reserve रहेंगे वो कहाँ पे रहेंगे, state के ही access में रहेंगे, उनके jurisdiction में रहेंगे. Okay, but they will be nominated by whom? By the national government. They will be acting as a core areas. यहाँ पे core areas हैं. ओके जो कि प्रॉपरली कंजर्वेशन के लिए यूज किए जाएंगे, जहाँ पे द एंट्रेंस ऑफ द ह्यूमंस विल नॉट बी अलाउड, एक्सट्रैक्शन ऑफ द फॉरेस्ट रिसोर्सेज विल नॉट बी अलाउड. देन बफर जोन्स होंगे जो कि एडजॉइंट एरियाज में होंगे. सो दिस इज दी कोर जोन, इसके आसपास का जो एरिया रहेगा वो बफर जोन होगा. ओके जहाँ पे जो बेसिक आपकी ट्रेनिंग एक्टिविटीज होती है, फॉर एग्जाम्पल देयर आर द फोटोग्राफर्स, जो वाइल्ड लाइफ फोटोग्राफर्स होते हैं, दे आर अलाउड. सो यहाँ पे प्रॉपर मॉनिटरिंग वगैरह करने के लिए आपके बेसिस बनाए जाते हैं. एंड देन वी हैव अ ट्रांजिशन जोन, जहाँ पे जो आपका ह्यूमन है या फिर कम्युनिटीज है, ह्यूमन कम्युनिटीज, दे विल बी लिविंग एंड दे विल बी प्रोटेक्टिंग द कोर एरियाज. सो दैट इज द आइडिया ऑफ हैविंग द बायोस्फीयर रिजर्व, राइट. नाउ एज आई सेड, जो इसको बनाने का बेसिक आइडिया था वो क्या है, दैट the people and the wildlife can live together. Okay, that is the reason 26 crore or 260 million people they live in the biosphere reserve. So in case they will give you the statement ki biosphere reserve mein humans are not allowed, they can't live, it's incorrect statement. They are allowed, they can live there. Okay, 26 crore people, they live in the biosphere reserve. Okay, now here when we talk about our country, in our country we have total 18 biosphere reserve. That means 18 biosphere reserves are being nominated by the national government, central government, and they are being properly managed by the state government. Okay, so that is the idea. That covers approximately 91,425 square kilometer. And UNESCO द्वारा कितने recognize किए गए हैं? It is total 13 in number. Recently जो आपका recognize किया गया, that is a cold desert from Himachal Pradesh. Now biosphere reserve division, that is covered under the Ministry of Environment and Forest and Climate Change, and that is being administered by the central sponsored scheme. सेंट्रल स्पॉन्सर्ड स्कीम क्यों? क्योंकि यहाँ पे स्टेट का भी पार्टिसिपेशन होता है फॉर द वाइल्ड लाइफ कंजर्वेशन, एंड दैट इज it is being operated under the sub scheme that's called CNRE scheme, that is conservation of natural resources and ecosystem. Okay, now let's have this map which shows you कि कितने biosphere reserve हैं. तो total 18 है, 13 recognized है by UNESCO, and cold desert that is recently identified, जहाँ पे this is the the habitat of the snow leopard. Okay, so Nanda Devi, Kanchenjunga cold desert, Great Run Kutch, okay, Agastyamalai wildlife sanctuary और the biosphere reserve, नीलगिरी biosphere reserve, very important, ये तमिलनाडु, कर्नाटका एंड केरला के जंक्शन पे है. Okay, so and also the Great Nicobar. Okay, so these are the important biosphere reserve जो कि यूनेस्को एंड आपकी नेशनल गवर्नमेंट ने रिकॉग्नाइज किया. एज आई सेड, इट्स अ सेंट्रली स्पॉन्सर्ड स्कीम. सो पैटर्न क्या है यहाँ पे फंडिंग का? सो 60:40 फंडिंग हैज बीन डन फॉर द जनरल एरियाज. ओके, फॉर एग्जांपल जो आपके प्लेन एरियाज हो गए या फिर एरियाज लाइक द नॉर्दर्न प्लेन एरियाज, एंड 90:10 फॉर द नॉर्थ ईस्टर्न एंड हिमालयन states. So जो hilly areas हैं उनके लिए funding is 90:10. Now India is ranked at 9th position in terms of having the forest area that we have covered in the earlier article. So forest area अगर हम बात करें, so India is ranked at the 9th position. And also अगर annual forest gain की बात करें as per the FAO 2025 report, we have the position of 3rd. Okay, so 3rd ranking. हर साल कितना हम forest gain कर रहे हैं? That means the government of India is taking the initiative, or the state government is taking the initiative in terms of doing the afforestation project. So that is the result of that we got this 3rd position. Okay, also biodiversity conservation का जो budget है वो डबल हो गया, दो इट्स नॉट सिग्निफिकेंट. 5 crore was in 2024-25 and it is 10 crore. So that is, the number is not significant, but we are doing something, डबल कर रहे हैं हम इस बजट को. Then we have community level participation. We have run the initiative like Project Tiger, flagship species को protect करने के लिए 1971 में Project Elephant, Green India Mission Component, Biosphere Reserve efforts. Okay, now as we have seen, September 2025 में ये आपका जो cold desert है, that is recognized by UNESCO. Okay, now there is just the glance of just have the glance of these projects. Project Tiger 1973 में launch किया गया था as a flagship conservation program. 50 years complete हो चुके हैं 2023 में, and India has more than 70% of the tiger population. Okay, and that's the reason. And इसका जो एक credit जाता है वो इस program को जाता है. Okay, now Project Elephant, it is the national heritage animal 1992 में elephant corridors को बनाने के लिए, elephants they are very peaceful, you know, the animals, and इसको protect करने के लिए this Project Elephant was launched by the government of India, and India is home to 60% of the global Asian elephant population. Then we have integrated development of wildlife habitat, centrally sponsored scheme है जहाँ पे financial या technical assistance दिया जाता है UTs and आपके states को for the wildlife conservation activities. Also we have National Wildlife Action Plan. It is run under the Biological Diversity Act of 2002. एंड यहाँ पे जो भी आपके बायोलॉजिकल रिसोर्सेज हैं या ट्रेडिशनल नॉलेज हैं, दे आर बीइंग कंजर्व्ड अंडर दिस एक्शन प्लान. देन वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट जोन दैट इज बीइंग क्रिएटेड, इको सेंसिटिव जोन, वाइल्ड लाइफ कॉरिडोर्स जो कि बनाए गए हैं, एंड अंडर दिस इको सेंसिटिव जोन्स जो आपके प्रोटेक्टेड एरियाज हैं, नेशनल पार्क्स या वाइल्ड लाइफ सैंक्चुरीज, दे आर बीइंग डेवलप्ड. ओके, so they are acting as a shock absorber. Okay, so specialized आपके ecosystem होते हैं around the protected areas, and यहाँ पे अलग अलग species के protection के लिए ये areas आपके develop किए जाते हैं. Also Great Indian Bustard, which is also the critically endangered species, जिसको protect करने के लिए राजस्थान and गुजरात में आपके action plan run किए जा रहे हैं. And then we have Green India Mission for protecting, restoring and enhancing the India's forest cover. So that was about this article about the environment. Now we will cover the article related to 4th of November, and we have the first article which is about the agriculture education and training. Okay, now here the agriculture is one of the primary livelihood for nearly half of the India's population. It is the backbone of the Indian economy, providing the employment for the rural India and also specifically for the women. Okay, so here it contributes to 18% of the GDP. So ये article आपका agriculture sector के contribution या इसके significance के बारे में बात कर रहा है, as we had a discussion over the service sector earlier in the PIB class. So here agricultural education, research, extension. So agriculture is considered as the traditional kind of a traditional kind of a setup जहाँ पे आप साइंटिफिक रिसर्च या फिर टेक्नोलॉजी का एसोसिएशन थोड़ा सा कम माना जाता है. बट विद द एफर्ट्स ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट वी हैव सीन दैट नाउ एग्रीकल्चरल टेक्नोलॉजी के ऊपर हम ज़्यादा फोकस कर रहे हैं. वी वांट टू हैव मोर एंड मोर प्रोडक्शन फ्रॉम द फ्रॉम द एग्रीकल्चरल लैंड, एंड उसमें हेल्प कर रहा है आपका टेक्नोलॉजी. नॉट ओनली द टेक्नोलॉजी जो कि आपकी ट्रेडिशनल टेक्नोलॉजीज हैं, बट वी आर ऑल्सो फोकसिंग ऑन द आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस. So that is the efforts that is we have to see here in this article. So here agricultural education, research, extension are recognized as a key pillars for the development of the agriculture sector. Here it is essential for sustaining the targeted 5% agricultural growth. So if we integrate this research and technology or education, we can have 5% more growth rate in the agriculture sector that will be aligned with the Viksit Bharat vision, that is of developed agriculture and prosperous farmer. Okay, it is also based on the principles, like 3 principles must work in synergy, that is one nation, one agriculture and one team. Okay, so integrated approach है ये government of India की for the development of the agricultural sector. Now here we have to recognize the efforts of ICAR, which was established in year 1929 under the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, जो कि research institutions को support कर रहा है या research activities को support कर रहा है. Okay, so it is having the one of the largest in the world. There is the largest agricultural research network, 130 national research institute हैं and 74 agriculture universities which are acting. Also this ICAR is managing the कृषि विज्ञान केंद्रास. Okay, 731 कृषि विज्ञान केंद्रास हैं जो कि farmers को technology provide करती है या फिर उनको awareness देती है regarding the technologies. Okay, now 63 state agricultural universities, and there are 3 central agricultural university. One is in Pusa, Imphal, and other is in Jhansi. So that is the research institution which are acting for promoting the agricultural research and technology in the agriculture sector. Then we have also this ATARI, which stands for Agricultural Technology Application Research Institution. We have total 11 such centers. Okay, now Atma is the another scheme that stands for Agriculture Technology Management Agency, जो कि decentralized at the district level, जो भी आपके agricultural research किए जाते हैं at the district level, this Atma scheme is oriented for that. Okay, then we have skill training among the rural youth, मैकेनाइजेशन, ओके, एंड दिस सॉइल हेल्थ कार्ड 2 सालों के लिए इशू किया जाता है, प्रोवाइडिंग ऑन दी 12 पैरामीटर्स हाउ योर सॉइल इज, किस तरीके की न्यूट्रिशन डेफिसिट है। तो ये फार्मर के लिए एक अच्छा एक अच्छा कार्ड की तरह काम करता है, जो कि उसको इन्फॉर्म रखता है। सो दैट प्रोवाइड्स द फार्मर्स द इन्फॉर्म चॉइस कि आप अपने सॉइल के लिए जो भी बेस्ट आपके न्यूट्रिशंस हैं उनको यहाँ पे प्रोवाइड करिए, एंड देन यू विल हैव मोर एंड मोर प्रोडक्शन फ्रॉम योर फार्म। Now here कृषि विज्ञान केंद्रास, आत्मा एंड इन सब के बारे में यहाँ पे मेंशन किया है, just have a look here. Now we have India's leap in the research and innovation. Now again in this article we will be talking about the recently launched the research and development innovation scheme जो 1 लाख करोड़ के बजट के साथ अभी recently launch की गई है. Before we talk about that, we have to see that how we are expanding in terms of the research and development program. So here in R&D we have 60,196 crore rupees that we were spending in 2010 and 11. Now it has been doubled, 1.27 lakh crore in 2020 and 21 we are spending on this. R&D पे अगर हम बात करें, the central government is spending more and more, that is approximately 43.7%, and other is by the state government and by the private players. Okay. Now, India's gross expenditure on the research and development, if we talk about, as we have seen, 1.27 lakh crore hai in 2020-21, and here we have seen that this expenditure has seen the consistent growth. Government is not, sidelining this particular area. It is focusing on this sector, and total agar government ka contribution hum baat kare, it is 64%, including the state and the central government. So India is ranked 3rd globally in the science and engineering PhDs जो कि done किए जा रहे हैं after USA and China. So that means engineering sector या STEM sectors are the sector जहाँ पे most of the research is being done. And साइंस में अगर कोई भी आपका रिसर्च किया जा रहा है, उसका बेसिक ऑब्जेक्टिव क्या है? साइंस प्रोवाइड्स यू दी द सोल्यूशन टू दी प्रॉब्लम्स. सो जो भी प्रॉब्लम्स इन द करेंट सिनेरियो वी आर फेसिंग, दीज काइंड ऑफ अ PhD research are going to help us. Now, Research Development and Innovation Scheme launched on November 3, 2025. 1 lakh crore का total यहाँ पे allocation था. Remember this. Idea क्या था? Private sector participation को हमें बढ़ावा देना है. So, encouraging the private sector participation, projecting the providing the support to the projects at the higher level technology. Okay, जो भी startups हैं specifically in the technology sector, AI sector, उनको promote किया जाएगा, या फिर quantum communication में facilities that will be providing for the deep tech fund of funds also. Also, we have to see what kind of a framework we are having for the innovation and research sector. So we have this body 2024 में बनाई गई थी अनुसंधान नेशनल रिसर्च फाउंडेशन, जो कि ये जो 1 लाख करोड़ का टोटल एलोकेशन है उसको मैनेज करेगा एज अ एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिंग बॉडी. इट इज ऑल्सो अ स्टैट्यूटरी बॉडी. अनुसंधान नेशनल रिसर्च फाउंडेशन एक्ट 2023 के अंदर इसे बनाया गया था. Here the idea of mobilizing the funds amounting the 50,000 crore rupees during 2023 and 28. So इस span के लिए this 50,000 crore rupees will be spent in the areas which will include the the science and technology special purpose fund के लिए बनाया जाएगा. Okay, out of this 14,000 crore will be provided by the central government. Again, you will see this number shows the the active participation by the central government. Now, Bio E3 policy 2024, again very important. Tell me what is the full form of Bio E3? Okay, so bio economy या biotechnology को promote करने के लिए इसे launch किया गया था. It is written here. It is biotechnology for economy, environment and employment. Remember the full form of it. Okay, here it is based on 6 themes. Bio-based chemical enzymes को promote करना या फिर develop करना, functional foods and smart proteins के area में focus करना, precision biotherapeutics. Then climate resilient agriculture is one of the theme on which this program will be done. Carbon capture and its utilization, and marine and space research. Just see how broad this biomanufacturing program is. Okay, and here this Atal Innovation Mission 2.0 2016 में launch किया गया था by the नीति आयोग, and the idea is school level पे how we can encourage the youth to have this idea of innovative mind, and also जो entrepreneurship जो उनकी skills है उनको यहाँ पे promote किया जाएगा, competitiveness को promote किया जाएगा in the areas like research and innovation. Okay, now National Mission for Driving frontier research, so national quantum mission, as I said, ये भी एक important theme है या area है जिस पे government focus कर रही है. 19th April 2023 में से launch किया गया था, and it will be spanning from 2023 till 2030 and 31, and total allocation for this program is 6,000.65 crore rupees. Okay, quantum computer, communication system या advanced materials, these are the areas जहाँ पे ये जो आपका mission है वो oriented होगा. Then we have 3,660 crore rupees के allocation के साथ national mission for interdisciplinary cyber physical system. So cyber security उसको भी robust बनाना है. We have to see that when we are developing in the areas like AI or robotics, we have to focus on providing a safety for this kind of a technology. National supercomputing mission, Rudra करके supercomputer that is recently being developed. India semiconductor mission, very important mission, जो आपके semiconductor projects हैं उनको support करेगा with the allocation of 76,000 crore rupees, and it is one of the sector which is covered under the 2020 launch production linked incentive scheme. Then Deep Ocean Mission, 7 September 2021 में Ministry of Earth Sciences ने launch किया था 5 सालों के लिए. Again idea क्या है, blue economy को पहले तो समझना and then उसका exploration करना and resources का extraction करना without harming the marine ecosystem. And India AI mission, again very important mission, जहाँ पे 10,000 जो graphical project आपके units थे, processing units, उनको develop करने की बात की थी. Initial target ये था. Now we have 38,000 GPUs. Okay, now we have digital public infrastructure thanks to the unified payment interface. Now we are integrating the 20 billion transaction through the UPI system. So इसकी वजह से transparency आई है. We know how much money is being circulated in the economy, and also this the transaction has been made paperless. Okay, now UPI it has gone global. So we have 7 countries which are implementing or utilizing the UPI services. So first was Bhutan, then France, Mauritius, Nepal, Singapore, Sri Lanka and UAE. Okay, now CoWIN platform, we are also not only thinking about our people with respect to the research and development. CoWIN, this COVID vaccine intelligence network platform, it has not helped the people when we were combating with the COVID-19. We also had provided the helping hands to the our neighboring countries. So that is the the platform CoWIN platform, जो कि digital tools provide करता है या फिर जो vaccination program है उसको और भी ज़्यादा extend करता है. DigiLocker 2015 में launch किया गया था, that provides verified digital documentation. Secure एक system provide किया है, एक digital space provide किया है where you can store your data. Now direct benefit transfer, again it helped the people or the government to identify the real beneficiaries. So earlier that there were the the ghost beneficiaries when the government was planning to provide any of the benefits of the scheme to the poor people. It was the other people who got the benefit. Now due to this direct benefit transfer, वो जो ghost beneficiaries का एक loophole था वो eliminate कर दिया गया. So that is the initiative that has been taken by the government of India. We don't have the new news, but these initiatives, these schemes, they were very important. There are chances that they will in the examination just give you these old initiative and schemes and ask you about this. Okay, so just have a look over these articles and revise it, and also try to do some kind of practice on this. Okay, just have just go through the the sites and do some MCQs on the website. So thanks for joining me. Let's meet in the next session to discuss more PIB articles. Thank you.